welcome. My name is Alex. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe. And in the comments below, ask me a question you have about yoga. That way I can help. This class/tutorial is going to teach you about Malasana, also known as a yoga squat, also garland pose. Let's call it a squat today. We will begin in a child's pose and make sure you have a couple of blocks or you might fold up a towel a couple times to place under your heels. Child's pose. Let's bring the knees a comfortable distance apart. The big toes are going to touch or be close to each other. Walk your hands forward and soften down to the mat. Arrive in your experience. Arrive in your decision to do something for yourself, trusting that you will feel good afterwards. Let's bring ourselves to the present moment by starting to think about the breath. Just noticing each inhale and that moment when it becomes an exhale. Soften any tension in your body and begin to breathe in and out through the nose. You might give yourself a few rounds before beginning. An exhale through the mouth can help you to relax and also expel any stale air. Gradually work your way to that breath through the nose. Do your best to think about the present moment, everything you feel. Start to notice your weight on the floor. Maybe you already feel your hip creases, the texture of your mat or whatever surface you're on. This inhale, this longer exhale. Place your hands flat and press up to a tabletop position. So the knees are going to be over the hips, hands shoulder width. The knees are under the hips. Let's cat-cow 3 times. Inhale, arch the back, lift the tailbone. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin and press the palms down. Really simple, but you gotta pay attention. Inhale, arch, let these grow. And exhale, round the spine. Once more. Exhale, pull the stomach in. Tabletop, somewhere in between. Tuck your toes and sit back onto your heels. Pull the pinky edges out. This might be really intense, and if you need to bring yourself forward and let that happen, that's fine. Flexible feet, sounds funny, will help with squat. And so just sit here. We're going to stretch the toes for a moment, and to distract ourselves, we're going to interlace the fingers and press the palms away from you. Lower the chin slightly and feel the hands stretch, kind of in the same place as the feet are stretching. And release the hands. Reach the arms overhead. Hold on to the left wrist with the right hand. Pull up, gentle side body stretch. You're not going to go too far. Just working our way into the torso. And lift up, switch out the grip, relax your shoulders, and lean up and just a little over to the left. Even when a pose focuses on something like the hips, like a squat does, the rest of the body will need to help out. Inhale, release the arms back down to the mat. Ooh, let go of the feet, roll them out. Some people like to pat them on the ground or mat. All right, let's tuck the toes again and press back to a downward facing dog. You might have your hands on blocks. You might walk your hands about a half palm print forward, press up and back. I will link my down dog tutorial below and a few other ones for you to check out. Let's keep the knees soft and press one heel down at a time, bending one knee at a time. And this is also a nice chance to roll out each wrist. Just carefully lift one at a time. And let's find a breath where we press the heels down and breathe out through the nose. Lower your knees to the mat. Let's bring the right foot up between the hands. You can use the right hand to scoop the heel forward. Set up a kneeling lunge. A block or two will make this more available. Even if you can go for more, let's untuck the back toes. It's still worth it to go back to foundation sometimes. Lower the chin a little bit so the crown of the head is lengthening away and the neck is relaxed. Right knee over the right ankle. It makes a right angle. You could even put your block there to make sure, it's not, should line up. You're not going, usually people will be here. Draw the lower belly in a little bit, and if you need more, lower the chin. We are stretching the left hip flexor. Release out and come back to a tabletop. Let's find stillness with our spine somewhere neutral and what feels different on each side. That's energy shifting. That's your body waking up saying thank you. Left foot up between the hands and set the same thing up. You might use your blocks. Knee over ankle is so important. I can't stress that enough. And give yourself a few breaths to arrive, to let things soften, to let the sensations build. And bring your awareness back to the breath. In and out through the nose as best as you can. To add on, if you did, lower the chin and scoop the tailbone forward. All right, let's release out, come back to tabletop, draw the belly in and feel that neutral spine. One cat-cow. Inhale, arch the back. This is actually stretching the hips as well. Notice that you have more range, and let's scoop the tailbone, tuck the chin. This is called cat back. Neutral. Let's sit back in a child's pose again. Widen the knees as wide as they will comfortably, maybe a little bit more so than just comfortably apart. And press down and away with your hands to get the hips, the sit bones, on top of your heels. Notice how this is a similar position to what a squat would look like. So you can appreciate how all the poses work together in different ways. Let's press back up into tabletop. Walk your hands about a handprint forward and lower your hip bones down to the mat. Let's leave the toes tucked and try to not shrug the shoulders. This is a modified upward facing dog. Lean onto the left hip. Feel the stretch over the left hip and the side of the body. Look over the right shoulder. Switch sides. Again, we are working our way around where we're going to go so that we have clear pathways to the goal. Oh, neato. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, one long breath back to your child's pose, just for the exhale. Tabletop. Let's go back to downward facing dog. Find some stillness this time. Adjust as you need to, but then just find where you are. Feel the stretch through the backs of the legs, the heels pressing down. The breath. Let's lift up onto the toes and place the nail bed side or the top of one foot on the mat and stretch through the foot and the ankle. Rock a little side to side and then switch feet. Squat is beneficial for foot and ankle flexibility, so that's always good because we walk with our feet, and walking is important. Let's walk to the top of the mat and relax over your legs. Separate them about hip width, maybe a block width distance, long ways even, and bend the knees so you can relax over the legs. Bend the knees. I think it's counterintuitive to stretching the legs and the back, but it will actually give you more access to the whole back. Deepen the breath. If your knees are okay with it, bend and squat down, just lifting up onto the toes a few times, not even just a squat, but finding some range of motion. You might just bend one knee at a time, lift one heel at a time. All right, let's go into our first squat. Separate your feet about mat width distance. Heels in, toes out, not cranked out, but just rotating out a little bit at a time. We're going to place the hands in front of you. You might use the blocks underneath your hands to bring the floor closer. Start to bend your knees as you lower your sit bones down, and the palms will touch at heart center. If your feet are not flat, do your best to lift out of the arches, and this is where you will place the folded towels underneath each heel. You can play with the balance of your hands. The knees are turning out. A block, you can sit on a block. However, don't stay here forever, because part of the benefit of this pose is the strength aspect of lifting up. You might be forward, you might be all the way down. Let's take 3 quality breaths wherever you are. Place your hands on the blocks or the mat in front of you, and let's lift back up. Bring the toes and the heels closer together, maybe touching, and let's ragdoll again. Just find some movement. Scan the body. What do you feel? The lower back, maybe that was crazy on your feet or ankles, or just observe. Take notes. It's information. Let's bring the feet to touch or about hip width and relax over the legs. Again, bend the knees. And press through the heels. Start to build the core in right away as we lift up to standing. Arrive. Bring Your shoulders down, away from the ears, lift out of the arches, and just scan the body. That's something that you do over and over again because it keeps you present in the moment that matters. The one that you have anything to do with is right now. Turn to face the long edge of your mat and separate your feet. A comfortable, little wider distance. Feet will be just about under the wrists with your arms side to side. Turn the right toes to turn out. The left foot will stay parallel with the left edge of your mat. Relax the shoulders down, draw the shoulder blades back, and bend into the right knee. Feel the stretch on the inside of your left thigh. Shoulders relax down and draw the shoulder blades together. This is Warrior 3. This is Warrior 2. I'm getting into this. It felt good. Let's straighten the right leg and turn the toes in. And left toes turn to the top of the mat. Right foot is parallel with its edge. Bend the left knee and press down. I'm trying to think of a yoga and math joke, but I don't think anybody's allowed to joke anymore. Relax your shoulders. Shoulders draw back. Just feel the opening of the hip. We're not going too deep. Straighten the left leg. Turn the left toes forward. Bring your hands to hips. And let's bring our hands to the floor in front of us. Right underneath your line of vision. A block here is very helpful. We're going to twist open to the left. Leave the right hand down and follow the left hand with your gaze. Try to keep the whole arm within view. Take a breath. And switch sides. Replace the right hand with the left and open up. And hands back down to the mat. We're going to stretch the inner thighs. Keep both feet flat. Let's bend in and feet pointing forward. Bend into the right knee and let's walk over to the right. Keep the left foot flat. This is also going to stretch the ankle and the foot. Switch sides. Just walk over to the left. Try to keep the spine somewhat long, and then again, props are great. All right, let's come back to center. Heels in, toes out. Let's lift up, keep the knees bent, and rest them on top of your thighs. Use a little bit of pressure to open up the legs. Twists are good for squatting, so let's press the right hand into the right leg as you lower the right shoulder down. Left shoulder draws back. And switch sides. Left shoulder lowers forward, right one back. And come back to center. Let's stand up and step to the top of your mat. Bring the toes and the heels to touch and create good posture. One hand on the lower belly, the other on the tailbone. Try to relax the tailbone down. You might even soften the knees to let that happen. Bring the palms to touch. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Lift up and out of the waist. And long exhale, hands down to heart center. Keep that strong foundation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees and relax over the legs. Squat down. Separate the feet. Heels in, toes out. Use your block to sit on. Use towels underneath the heels. Use your fingertips. Have a sense of humor. And just think nice thoughts. especially with hip openers because they have a tendency to stir up emotions. Ask me about that if you're interested. Can you relax the shoulders down? Some of the benefits of this pose include it's actually a strength pose for the arms and the abs. It helps you to increase your balance. It's good for digestion. It also sends energy to that area. Stretches the feet, the groin. And because of the balance, it is centering and calming. Helps you to think about this moment. Let's take one more great breath. Longer exhale. Release. Place your hands on whatever you want to in front of you and bring your feet closer together. Relax over the legs. Keep the knees soft. Press up to stand. Arms reach overhead. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, soft bend in the knees. Relax the back body. Long flat back, inhale, halfway lift. Use your prop if you'd like. Ooh, that feels good. And from here, let's step back into a plank. Just for a moment, lower all the way down to the mat. Rest your forehead on your left hand and pull the right foot in towards your glute. You might use a strap to get it there. Press your tailbone forward and down. We're stretching out the quad. Switch sides. That pressure on the forehead is an indicator to your subconscious that you know you are more than this physical form. There is so much amazingness inside of you right now. Release. Extend the left arm out. This might be pretty intense, so just do what you can. Left arm reaches out to the side, palm down, airplane wing, and place your left temple on the right fist. Roll onto the left hip. Take a couple breaths balancing in this shoulder opener. Switch sides, carefully roll out. And lean on, rest your head on the left fist. Right arm reaches out, palm down. This is a great one to do against the wall, standing up. Makes it a little easier to vary the height and the rotation happening. Bring it back. Press up to a tabletop and once again back to child's pose. Maybe you were already going there. Try not to anticipate, but also know that I like to do what feels good too, so you're welcome. Lengthen out the back. Let your forehead touch the mat. I'm just lifted because of sound. And just again, notice how this resembles a squat. Similar sensations will occur when you switch to your feet. Press up into a tabletop. Downward dog. Walk your hands back to the feet. Separate the feet about mat width. And let's yogi squat. Malasana. Go grab your blocks real quick. If I let you forget them, my bad. Can you remember what the first squat felt like? Just how many rounds of breath ago? This one should feel a little bit more available. And even if that difference is so subtle, it's there, I promise. Lift out of the arches. Let's take 3 great breaths. Release. Take your time straightening out the legs. Move any way that sounds good. And then bring the feet closer together or touching and round up to standing. Arrive. Adjust the lower belly and the tailbone. Lift out of the arches. Lift, spread, and lower the toes. Hands to heart center. Breathe. Reach the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees and forward fold. Walk your hands forward, set up tabletop. Untuck the toes. Let's do one intentional cat-cow. Inhale, arch the back. Press the palms down. Reach in this pose. Press the mat away. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Puff up through the shoulders. Neutral spine. Pigeon pose. Bring the right knee behind the right wrist, and you want to square your hips to the top of the mat. I have a tutorial about this. I will link. Let's lift up, and you might put a prop under the right hip and the forehead. Let's soften forward. Return to the breath. Make a commitment to finish with intention, to get the most out of what you came here for. It's what we all come here for. It's to feel good. It's to feel better. It's to let go of suffering. Sounds intense, but I mean it in a mental, just a physical ailment. Take 2 more complete breaths. To release, press out or press the hands up. Bring the knee back. 1 long exhale. 2, child's pose. Widen out the knees. Press your hips back with the hands by pressing down and away with the hands. Tabletop. Pigeon left side, left knee. You can use your hand to help get the leg up there. Try to square the hips to the top of the mat. Someday the front shin is parallel to the front edge, but that will get there. Take your time. We're here for a little bit. Over the next few rounds of breath, relax forward and just stay with all the sensations in your body and bring your thoughts back to this inhale. This slightly longer, relaxing exhale. Take 1 more long breath. And longer exhale. Let's press up and back to our last child's pose. Knees are wide. Walk the hands forward. Soften down. Walk your hands in. Bring the knees back in. Let's stand up. Move wherever you want to be on the mat. Round up to standing. Set up your posture once more. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Forward fold, exhale. Let's squat down, separate the feet, and separate the toes. Use your props. Trust that you have a better understanding of what you're doing, and that translates physically. It's the body-mind connection. Seal the palms, no bubble in between. Relax the temples, keep the gaze soft. You are almost there. Hands to the mat or your props. Walk the feet back in towards each other. Relax over the legs. Find some more length in the back of your body. Make your way back to a tabletop. One cat-cow to reset. Really pay attention to the differences, however subtle, between the range of motion, and then do your best to stop in the middle. Inhale. Exhale, press and round. Ooh, thunder. Hear the thunder. Tabletop. Find somewhere in the middle. Make your way to a seated position. I highly recommend you sit on a block, especially because we've opened up the hips a lot, and this is relaxing. It's more comfortable, most would say, and it helps you to sit up tall, aligning your chakras. Bring the palms to touch at heart center. Softly blink the eyes closed. Let go of the breath. Relax the temples. Think of something, someone you're grateful for. Reach the arms overhead as you gently blink the eyes open. Inhale, lift. Long. Exhale as you lower your hands down to your sides or heart center. The light in me honors the light in you, also known as Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe. Please comment, like, tell someone you like about my yoga. I will see you all in my next video. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.